All right, now let's work on item selection. So here we want to handle the onClick event of the list item and raise a custom event called onItemSelect. So onClick, we set it to an arrow function, and here we're going to call the onItemSelect prop, because earlier in the movies component where we used our list group, we passed this prop onItemSelect. So back to our list group, on the top, we should extract this property from our props object onItemSelect. So that's a reference to a function. Here we're going to call that function onItemSelect and pass this item that we are rendering as an argument. Now let's test the application. So I'm going to click on action. You can see our genre object here. Beautiful. Now one thing that is missing here is the active class. So whenever we click on a genre, that genre should be active. So here when rendering a list item, we should dynamically apply the active class if this item equals the selected item. So that means this list group should know the selected item. So back to our movies component. Let's go to handle genre select method. So Command and P or Control and P, @handle genre select. Right here, instead of logging this genre on the console, we should store it in the state. So this, that set state, we set selected genre to this genre. So as you know, whenever we update the state, this component and all its children are re-rendered. So our list group will be re-rendered. Here we need to pass a new prop, selected item, which we set to this, that state, that selected genre. So now our list group knows what is the selected item, so it can apply the active class to that item. So back to our list group. On the top, we need to extract this new prop, selected item. Okay, now when rendering this list item, we should set the class dynamically. So let's change this string to an expression. Here we want to check if this item that we are rendering equals the selected item. We should return list group item class as well as the active class. Otherwise, we're going to return list group dash item. Save the changes. So this is the end result. Now let's test the application. I'm going to select this genre. Beautiful. So the selection works. Now one last thing before we finish this lecture. I want you to pay attention to the names I have chosen for these props. There is consistency in these names. For example, this prop is called onItemSelect, and this other prop is called selected item. I didn't call this current item. I used the same word, the same language that I used for the other prop. This is something that I want you to pay great attention to, because I see a lot of developers just use messy names for their props, for their functions, for their classes. These are extremely important and very simple to apply. So when you have the same language in your code, you don't have to do all the guesswork to remember what was the name of that property or that function. You don't have to go back and forth between different files. You immediately remember. So always pay great attention to the names you choose. All right, now that we're handling the selection of an item, we are ready to filter the movies based on the selected genre. And that's the topic for the next lecture.